When will leaders lead? This question, posed by Mia Mottley, Prime Minister of Barbados at COP26, is the biggest question we human beings have to answer. I'm Tony Redmond. Welcome to the Advocate for Change, a platform for discussion and sharing of solutions on issues affecting human well-being. The subject for today is global leadership. Although as a species we've made tremendous scientific and technological strides, demonstrating our intellectual capability, we are still plagued by gross inequities, injustice, and remain engaged in several wars and violent conflict while facing self-imposed existential threats. Think of the earth as our family home. Right now, the house is on fire, the kids are starving, and mommy and daddy are fighting over the remote. That's the kind of insane leadership that we are experiencing. This second question by Motley sheds some light on our global reality. Can there be peace and prosperity if 1/3 of the world prospers while 2/3 live under siege and calamitous threats to our well-being? The question highlights the gross disparity in global wealth distribution and is supported by this statement from Jeffrey Sachs of the Center for Sustainable Development. We are still in the early stage of trying to make a global civilization that is truly civilized, and this is our greatest challenge right now. We have powerful technologies that could end poverty if we use them properly in this mixed economic setting with a global moral agenda. If we don't do it, we can end up destroying ourselves. Although Sachs chose his words carefully, the message is very clear. Our global civilization has never been truly civilized because we have never operated with a true global moral agenda. The fact is, the last 700 years of war, conquest, colonization, and exploitation has been anything but civilized, and we are still stuck with that global model today. This statement by Claire Farrell of Extinction Rebellion further clarifies our situation. We have an economic system that is set up to engage in perpetual growth on a finite planet, alongside a political system that is short-termist by design. So you have an intersection of multiple systems that are incompatible with solving our problem. Farrell's statement is on point. Our governance, economic, and industry models are not conducive to human sustainability or well-being. And we've known this for quite some time. We need whole-scale systemic transformation. Many enlightened players have recommended progressive change initiatives like Sachs' G21 recommendation. Sachs stated, "The world exposed its grotesque inequalities this past year and a half," and went on to suggest, first, the G20 should become the G21 by inviting systematically the chairperson of the African Union, and the African Union would then become the 21st country, giving 1.4 billion people representation at the table for finance right now. Sachs's recommendation would correct one of the greatest injustices in human history. We all know that Africa supports more than 60% of the globe's natural resources, yet somehow it's the poorest continent on the planet. The accumulated impact of our flawed and destructive leadership models now threatens our very existence as a species. So why are we taking no corrective action? Why are we still engaged in wars and ethnic oppression when we know our only chance at survival is global collaboration and cooperation? Like Sachs stated, we have all the knowledge, resources, and technology to save ourselves. All we have to do is learn to do the right thing. The fact is, our leaders lack the consciousness to lead us out of this mess. Vandana Shiva, physicist and environmental activist, shed some light on the mindset required if we are going to achieve sustainability. Oneness, she says, is the recognition that we are part of one planet and we are one humanity. And unless we live with that consciousness and shape every moment of our production and consumption with that consciousness, we are going to destroy ourselves. which we are. We must elevate global leadership consciousness. We're talking about intellectual consciousness, our ability to recognize, understand, and constantly do the right thing. We're talking about our ability to take those lessons that we learn in our churches, mosques, and temples and actually apply them to how we live our day-to-day life and interact with each other as a whole. Albert Einstein stated, "No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it." Einstein's quote suggests that there are different levels of consciousness. This diagram illustrates the different levels of social interaction and social responsibility, and it is a tool for discussion and evaluation of different levels of consciousness. If we are going to make a global civilization that is truly civilized, as Sachs suggests, leaders must abandon models that promote division and inequity. They must demonstrate the ability to take unified, nonpartisan positions on issues, to solve problems and make decisions that are in the interest of the greater good. Spiritual intelligence, or SQ, is the only academic discipline that addresses consciousness. The introduction and application of SQ techniques to leadership training and education is the only path to achieving the levels of consciousness required to save ourselves. If you want to discuss or introduce the concept of spiritual intelligence to your team or organization, please contact us at advocateforchange.com. We must collectively promote the positive changes that will move us to a truly civilized global society and sustainability. For the sake of the next generation, please support and get involved in any action, organization, or movement that is committed to sustainability and social justice. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you very much.